Hi everyone, welcome to Life Shifting with Alita St. James in Hell's Kitchen, New York City. Well, I am really excited about this broadcast today, live, coming to you from New York with loads of good nuggets of information and celebration. Okay, first what I'd like everybody to do is just gather their energies as a group and just listen to the chime of the bells. They're from Tibet, 16th century, and they'll just align your energy centers. So take a deep breath in and exhale. Take another deep breath in and exhale. And then just close your eyes and let the vibration move through your entire body. So I rang the bells 7 times to align your 7 energy centers in the body. They're known as wheels of light, chakras. I choose to call them energy centers so that there's no negative connotation about a certain religion. They're energy centers. So when we're aligned to our energy centers, then we're opening ourselves up to vibrating the highest level of consciousness, which today we're going to talk about life shifting to the power of appreciation and gratitude. Now, there are so many things I want to share with you today, just from this past week. Many people got the loans that they put, into the vortex, and they came through, and relationships are manifesting, and creative projects are happening with so many life shifters in the community that it's really making my heart smile, because I'm feeling that we're all supporting each other in living the best life that we can and coming from a higher vibrational rate in terms of creativity, courage, and solutions. And it's working. And you know why it's working? Because we get a chance to practice the principles throughout the week. I actually go into meditation in terms of what am I going to bring forth for this week. And I have to wait till the message comes in. And one thing I was struggling with, which I aborted because it just didn't feel right. And so what did feel right was the power of appreciation and gratitude. So that means that everyone on the call needs to hear this. Now, I've been listening a lot to Joe Dispenza. He is wonderful. He was a chiropractor. Many people know his story. He was doing a triathlon. He got hit by a truck. Spine was broken in 2 places, went into the hospital. They wanted to operate, but they said, you're probably going to be basically a paraplegic from the neck down. He said no. And for 12 days, he just visualized that spine healing and visualized. If doubt came in, he released it. And at the end of 12 days, it was a miracle. He got up and walked out. He was in the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimension of manifesting. He wasn't dealing with matter. He just went up into those energy fields. And he's done the science and dealt with the brain to the extent that he can prove what I've been working with for 40 plus years and many lifetimes in terms of energy healing work, meditation, body work, primal therapy, bioenergetics, healing with light, all the things that I've studied. The science is actually coming out right now. And it's wonderful for me to listen to him because I'm going, that's right, oh my God. It's right in alignment. The science is now proving what spiritual masters knew for centuries, The Egyptians knew. I've studied throughout my lifetime just in terms of figuring out the secrets of manifesting, and my whole purpose in life is to help everyone manifest their dreams from their authentic self, to live their passion and their destiny. So an interesting thing that he pointed out was that when they did blind studies with a placebo effect for an antidepressant, 83% of the people that were taking placebos, not the antidepressant, actually got their brains to function as if they were on the meds. 83%. The brain just started to work with a suggestion. Thoughts are things. Amazing. That was mind-blowing to me. I mean, I already knew the story about the basketball players. One team visualized the game, the other team actually practiced and played it. The one that actually practiced and played it was only 10% better than the one that visualized it. So what is that telling us? That's telling us that when we're in a state, a high frequency state, that's where the miracles happen. And that's where it's unlimited potential and possibility. How extraordinary is that? Even in the pandemic. Yesterday, I did a wonderful broadcast with Aya and a whole group of her community. And we were talking about, getting over the depression of the pandemic and the anxiety that's created. And what I was saying was anxiety has a lot to do with the brain going back and remembering the worst possible outcome, whether you've experienced it or you can imagine it. And the interesting thing about the brain, and this is scientifically proven, even though I was taught it 40 years, I was going to say 40,000 years ago. I bet you I could go back there. But 40 years ago, that is so. That particular situation is so. So then, what I want you to know is that you have the power right now to shift out of any kind of anxiety and depression, which is hopelessness, that the pandemic can bring in. I've said this in every broadcast, we can all be on the high flying beam and going, and then all of a sudden it feels like, it's all crashing all at once. Ugh, and the bottom falls out. And then you have to breathe. And I've always said, it doesn't matter that we go down. What matters is that we're there for shorter periods of time, that you've learned how to shift energy. And that's why I'm teaching you the technique of moving into the emotional body in the heart center as you're connecting the resonance of your brain mind with your heart, holding the feeling that's negative for the count of 5, breathing into it, surrounding it with light, and then releasing it till it clears. And that actually clears from all the cells of your body. That's amazing, because then you don't have to function out of depression and anxiety. How many of you, and I hear it all the time, I think I have it. I have the chills, I have a slight headache, I have a small little fever, I have stomach ache, whatever it is. Any little thing that allergies can indicate it. A stomach virus can indicate it. But so many people are just going to the worst possible denominator because when you were a child, maybe tragedies and you were always in survival and you had to think about the worst possible scenario in order to survive. You were in the back of the brain, the primal center of the brain, which is fight or flight. In the fight or flight area, it's the dinosaurs coming. If the dinosaur comes into the cave, you are dead. So it's fight or flight. Now We've evolved up to the front of our brain, where our third eye is, where we can actually visualize, like they did in Atlantis. Okay, they had the technology down till they got a little crazy and destroyed themselves. All right, but we're here with laser understanding about we don't need to be anxiety ridden and depressed. We don't need to live in hopelessness. It doesn't mean that you don't feel it, but you shift out of it quickly. And the more you do this technique, the more your brain gets used to that frequency. And it's like the other frequency was like riding in a Volkswagen, right? You think it's great because that's the only thing you know. Then all of a sudden you get a Lexus, and wow, that's so much easier to drive. And then for people that are more adventurous, they're into a Jaguar or whatever. But it's not something that's more dense. It's something that's more evolved. And once you get used to living from that evolutionary part of you into your happy space, then you don't want to go down the rabbit hole anymore. You really don't. And you know that you're not part of your past. That when you're in the creative present and you are visualizing from the highest possible good, and you're in appreciation and gratitude, which we're going to get into the feeling of it, that's when that becomes your reality. When they say we are creating our reality, that's what they mean. Now, people, that are listening to Abraham sometimes get, I think, the wrong impression, which is just be happy. Sometimes you have to be in the warrior zone. Totally. The Quakers will say, God puts you in the direction and then you have to move your feet. So I want to share something with you in terms of what I learned over these past 2 weeks. And it was profound for me in terms of this whole principle. Now, I've been working with this for God only knows how many years, and I've manifested a lot. But there was a situation that was coming in, and I've been talking on these broadcasts about bringing it up. Can't deal with density, can't be in the third dimension. You got to see it healed. You have to be appreciative and grateful that it's already happened. And I was doing that with everything except an emotional situation that was happening with my son, of course. All right. And I wasn't going up until all of a sudden I went, duh, Alita, why don't you imagine and be in the high flying frequency that it's going to work out for your highest good and for your son's highest good? And that if it needs to implode, that the energies will implode by themselves. Newsflash, oops, okay. So 10 days ago, that's what I did. I'd go to sleep at night, I'd be in that meditation, I'd see it all being handled, I'd see that the energy would take care of itself, and I saw the outcome and I was grateful. And even though over those 10 days, I wasn't getting all the affirmation that I wished I would have gotten, but it was getting better and better. And then this is what I did. I rallied the forces around the situation. I didn't just sit there in meditation, okay, hoping that everything or visualizing everything happening. I moved my feet. I connected with the school. I connected with the male teachers. I connected with giving my son information that he needed. I brought in that alpha energy. And what happened yesterday? It imploded. The whole thing took care of itself. But I had to get the support. So the same thing with the loans. You can't just sit meditating into the happy space and expect it to happen. It's like a singer. You have to practice. You can't hit the high notes without practicing. You can't get the loan without filling out the applications and figuring out the right bank to go to. You need to move your feet, but you want to do it from a place where you're in high function and not in fear. Are you listening to what I'm saying? You're in high function, but not in fear. You're seeing the outcome and you're letting go of how it should happen. Very important. The brain immediately wants to go, how's this going to happen? I don't have any information about this. We're a computer, all right? I've experienced the opposite. I always say it's none of your business, brain. Just move into super consciousness. Super consciousness will take care of it. You cannot. You are only functioning on information that you've experienced or you've been given as a child. It's limited, tremendously limited. When Einstein was figuring out the whole thing about relativity, he wasn't coming from what he knew from before. He was imagining the universe and all the different pieces that were making it happen. That's how it happens. Anybody that's a visionary, an architect, Buckminster Fuller, all those people, okay? They're envisioning from a whole other vortex in the zone. And that's what you can do too. You are just as powerful as these amazing, brilliant minds that have it figured out. Maybe they've been doing this for lifetimes. That's why it's important for you to practice. You know, I'm practicing every day now. I'm realizing that there's things that I thought I knew, but now I know them better because I'm actually experiencing them through great challenges right now. That's when you grow. When you have the challenges, if you go back into your life, you will see that the times that you grew the most is when you used spiritual principles and you didn't feel sorry for yourself and you didn't play the victim. You said, what's the message here? How do I need to grow through this? What do I need to change in my life so I don't create this pattern over and over and over again? And then you shift it up and a whole different experience started to happen for you. Why be on this planet if you're not happy? And that doesn't mean that every day has to be like, I'm so happy, and nothing else bothers you. That's not realistic. You know, there's times you're going to be reactive. There's times I'm totally reactive. I get very Brooklyn. You know, my son will go, Mom. I'll say, well, I'm sorry. I'm back in Canarsie. What can I tell you? But the fact of the matter is I get over it. It's there. It's done. It's out. Finished. Boom. I'm going up. Because why put all that money into that bank account? So now, in terms of understanding this, we're moving into the power of appreciation and gratitude. And I want you to know it's not just by rote. It's not like there's 5 things I need to feel grateful for, appreciative before I get up. And they're this, that, and that. You're on top of your feelings, right? You're on top of them. You're not feeling it. You know, as an actress and a performer and director and writer, I had to learn through primal therapy and bioenergetics and even the healing with light. Get down into your core because that's where you create from. You don't create from your brain. You create from your emotions connected to your mind. You create from your heart. That's this experience of the feeling that you need to feel. Then you're in that zone. Then it's not like, okay, I did my meditation and then I did my appreciation and gratitude and now I'm starting my day with my exercise. You're like a robot trying to get through it. It's better if you just experience one appreciation and one gratitude and feel it than a whole list of 5 that you just wrote, you know, by rote, blah, 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 blah. Slow down. Where are you going? Do you know, especially now, when people say be in the moment, you know, where are you going? Nowhere. We're in our place. We're in quarantine. Maybe we'll take a walk today, walk the dog, whatever, but we're not going very far. So slow down and just allow yourself to feel. And when you want to feel something at a higher frequency, like appreciation and gratitude, it's important that you're in that zone. And it doesn't have to take a long time to get there. You don't have to struggle with it. I figured out a whole technique so that you can release it out of the emotional body quickly, use the light, and shift up to higher frequency in minutes. Yeah, in minutes. We don't have time to sit in meditation for hours and hours, really. We don't. I mean, the people that are working at home, isn't it true? You're working harder than you've ever worked before. I mean, I have clients 24/7. They get up in the morning, they're in their pajamas, they're working, they're trying to deal with their kids. Then it's like time to go to sleep, and they're looking at their emails and it's not finished. And they're, they're going, oh my God, they're burnt out. After this pandemic of working at home, a lot of people are going to have to go on vacation because there's more things that they're accomplishing just being at their computer 24/7. So my whole point is that let's give ourselves the time right now during these broadcasts, and then you can go on Facebook because it's housed there. On Instagram, it's a 24-hour and then it's off. On Facebook, it's housed. Go over each of these because they're principles that I've been thinking about in terms of the people that are going to be on the call. It's all in the vortex. The energy is all out there. And so I am talking to you and myself about what's the next level that you need to go to. And it's about feeling the emotion, experiencing the feeling, being in the vortex. When they talk about samadhi, I mean, when I was in my 20s, I thought, okay, I'm going to do my Tibetan meditation. I'm going to go into the hermitages for 7 weeks at a time and just do the whole meditation, 8-hour sits, so that I can hit samadhi, and then I'll never be sad or feel rejected again. Well, I was trying at a very early age to bypass pain and sadness and struggle and loss, because I was in show business and it's all about pain and sadness and struggle and feeling rejected until you get the role or whatever. And it's all about not feeling good enough about yourself a lot of times until you are accredited, until somebody does say that you're marvelous and you're great in a film, but then maybe sometimes you really don't feel that way. Okay, so I thought I'd just get it over, right? When I was, I think, 23, 24. Well, I came back from the Hermitage into New York City, and I realized that it wasn't integrating, that it's a process of experiencing, of dealing with so many things in the emotional body and the physical body that connects with the mental body, that then finally allows the spiritual energy to come in. So you have to integrate all of it. It's not just one road leads to Rome here. It's tributaries that come in, because we are a mental, a physical, an emotional, and a spiritual being in Life Shift. Okay, I wrote it in 2004 when I had the babies. We were right on this bed here. They were in their car seats. I was right over there, and I had 3 months to write it. But I had a year and a half to do the book proposal, so I had it in my head. But the fact of the matter is, right then and there, I was talking about 4 bodies. They have to be integrated, and the ways to do that. It's important you understand that about yourself. Know thyself. The Greeks had it. Know thyself. This is who you are. And this is how you can actually feel that you're a spiritual being having a physical experience. Spiritual beings, beings of light, guides, guardian angels. When you're up in the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimension, appreciation and gratitude is part of the gig. It's part of the vortex. It's love. And when you're in love, you know how the person can give you a little flower and oh my God, the world opens up. And they can just say something nice to you and that feels so good. Unfortunately, as the Buddhists say, what gives you great pleasure 1 minute can really give you pain the next, because if they take that away, then you're devastated. So that's why we're building that inside of you right now. So if you think, okay, I am going to really work on coming into the present. I am not going to create my future from my past. And when my past comes up, I'm going to use the techniques of light, breath, and healing to be able to shift and to move into a higher frequency of consciousness. And today we're going to work with appreciation and gratitude. And that's the tool that I'm going to work with for this week coming up and all the other weeks to come, because it's going to become part of my matrix. Newsflash, it's not about changing the behavior. It's about becoming the appreciation and gratitude of just normally living your life from appreciation and gratitude. That's the important thing. And creativity, and courage, and solution finding. Okay, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty. All right? Let's bring in that spiritual energy at a higher level, because we already brought it in when we first started. And what's coming through right now, today, is gold light. Gold is Cosmic Father. It deals with transformation of energy. So from a chakra 6 inches above your head, just see or feel a gold orb of light. And just feel that rays of the light are coming in through the top of the head, right into the pituitary and the pineal gland, right up in there. That's what opens up the spiritual energy centers. And as you breathe in, those rays go deeper and deeper inside of your body. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And then feel the energy just going through your body with this golden frequency of transformation. And just open yourself up to living as a super being, as a manifester, as somebody who's happy and feels love and joy for a good portion of your life, if not every day. And breathe. I'm bringing in the energy. I know many of you are feeling it. I can feel it. Because together, it amplifies the energy. So now what I want you to do is imagine that we're harmonizing the intelligence of your brain, mind, with the emotional energy and intelligence of your heart. We need to come from both places. And all you have to do is say, I'm harmonizing my brain mind with my heart center, and my heart center with my brain mind. And then what I'd like you to do is place your hand on your heart, just keep breathing, feeling the gold light, and see what is going on inside of you today that is not in harmony with appreciation and gratitude. What stress are you holding on to? What anxiety is there for you? Just name it. Don't criticize it. It's a feeling. It's not a factual state until you make it that. So breathe into it. I feel. And then whatever negativity is there, fear, anxiety, depression, hopelessness, doubt, tiredness, grouchiness, whatever that is that's coming up in this pandemic situation, hold it for the count of 5, then listen to the drum, and we're going to release it, okay? All right, so breathe in, feel that feeling, and hold it for the count of 5 and release it into a gold sun that's a foot away from your heart center. enough. I'm just reading everybody's field now. And breathe. Now what I want you to do is we're going to shift up. And whatever you want to manifest, if there was fear about your future, envision the future that you want to create going forward. If there's concern about finances, see them coming in. See creativity happening for yourself with a sense of thank you, thank you, thank you for creating a positive resolution of the situation. Imagine the feeling of appreciation and gratitude for having already received it. Think of something in your life that was totally expansive and wonderful. The day you first fell in love, or on the beach, you graduated from college, whatever that is, be in that expanded energy and bring that in. And let that vibrate throughout your body, because then that is who you are becoming. You are becoming what you want to create and manifest. You are resonating to that highest frequency of your spiritual self. And now I want you to open your eyes and just feel the energy of the transmission coming from my hand and my eyes and my third eye and my heart. Actually, all my chakras. I just saw them all spinning. Okay. Now just breathe. I am eternally grateful and appreciative of every moment of my life. I am excited about all the wonderful things that I am and that I am creating now and in the future. I love myself in all my magnificence. I am amazing. I am grateful for the talents that I have and everything that my higher spiritual self has created for me to be. I am excited about my future and about all the wonderful things that I am going to create for myself and for my friends, my family, and for mankind. And now I want you to say with me the incantation from Connie Newton. I am the light. The light is within me. The light moves throughout me. The light surrounds me. The light protects me. I am the light. The more you listen to this throughout the week, the stronger it's going to get into your energy systems, because it's a frequency that I am channeling. And you will resonate to your highest spiritual self in your physical being. So I'd like you to join with me in the community Life Shifting Global page on Facebook and just share different things, ask me questions. It's great if you share all the miracles that have been happening. It gives other people excitement. They feel like there's a community and people are just waiting to connect with each other. And please practice these principles. They are going to serve you from now, from this lifetime, into other lifetimes, into the beyond. So appreciation, gratitude, love, joy, and success to you. My love and blessings to you. I'm so happy to be able to share this with you every week. Alita St. James.